We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. The race for Baltimore City mayor is heating up. Coming up, the crime plan candidate Sheila Dixon is unveiling. The city's Safe Streets program is under new scrutiny. The new ties to gang activity that are just now coming to light. And all eyes are on Marilyn Mosby and her second federal trial, the big name that could testify today. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. The 2024 Baltimore City mayoral race is heating up. Candidate and former Mayor Sheila Dixon is expected to lay out her public safety plan today. Now, it's no secret that public safety is one of the key platforms both Dixon and current Mayor Brandon Scott are running on, both promising to curb crime. Now, Dixon, who first announced her campaign on Fox 45 News, has long been vocal about the problem she believes needs to be addressed in the city pertaining to crime. She believes it's not just murders and shootings that need attention in the city, but the quality of life crimes as well. When it comes to the city's homicide rate, Mayor Scott touted a significant step forward, with 2023 ending with fewer than 300 murders for the first time in almost a decade. However, that progress came after 2 years of the worst years for homicide rates in the city's history. When Dixon officially took office in 2008, her first full year saw 234 homicides, 240 the next, averaging about 100 fewer murders annually under her leadership. Now, the race for mayor is getting more crowded. Just yesterday, former Deputy Attorney General Thiru Vignarajah announced that he is once again running for mayor. Now, it sets up a rematch of the 2020 Democratic primary in which Mayor Scott, Dixon, and Vignarajah were all at the top. They were the top three vote getters.
This did not happen overnight. The trend was there. What was lacking is accountability. Crime-fighting strategies have been discussed at every level of our government since long before I was mayor. What makes their implementation successful is leadership. We need to bring together stakeholders in criminal justice, law enforcement, and within our communities around one strategy. And that's why I stepped up and endorsed Ivan Bates for state's attorney in the last election. Mary Miller, a former opponent in the mayor's race, and I came together to campaign for Ivan because we knew our leadership could help him win and that his leadership would help reduce the crime in Baltimore City. And that's why crime is going down. One of the contributing factors is this last year. Accountability. Accountable leadership takes work together and working with the community and within our community. When we were in City Hall, we reduced crimes across several measures to historic lows while reducing arrests. The positive effects lasted for years in our neighborhoods once we changed the culture. And if you read The Sun last week, it seems like Mayor Scott might need a reminder of this, because as mayor who ended, and I'm talking about myself, zero tolerance under my administration, I have to question if Mayor Scott even understands the long history and work that I and others have put into making the city safer, because that's what it takes: work, collaboration, involvement in the community, and accountability. My neighborhood crime plan will make Baltimoreans safe. But just as important, it recognizes that the mayor is the person accountable in seeing that plan through. The mayor is at the top. The police commissioner, the team, the mayor is at the top, and that's accountability. I believe in the strategies that we are putting forward, but the planning is not nearly as important as the implementation of the plan. We can talk about plans, but it's the implementation of the plan. As mayor, I've shown that I can identify the right people, put them in the right positions, and give them the proper tools to reduce the results that saved lives and restored order in our community. And as we learned this week through an audit by the police department, there is a $66 million overtime in the police department because we don't have enough officers. Mayor Scott has failed to recruit police officers like he's failed to recruit sanitation workers and workers across the city agencies. This is about management. It's about implementation. We don't need excuses and we don't need accountability, but we need accountability. And when I talk about the $66 million deficit, you keep hearing from some of our leaders that this has been going on for decades and decades. And I challenge the media today to go back and look at the record of how Mayor Dixon administration was able to reduce overtime and still be able to reduce crime. Because it's about setting up systems and making all of our entities within the police department and in finance accountable, monitoring what's going on, and making sure that people understand the importance of what it takes to restore order. We know that a small percentage of Baltimore City's population is responsible for the majority of our violent crime. We will go after the most violent offenders. We will target policing resources with a laser approach to prevent these individuals from re-offending strategies like the Gun Offenders Registry. We will put back in place to follow up with people who've been arrested for gun crimes and prevent them from repeating their mistakes. And you've heard me bring up about the gun registry. It was effective, it worked. It was modeled after Mayor Bloomberg in New York. Someone was arrested, they had to register. We were in their face visiting, finding out, what are you doing? Are you checking into parole and probation? Do you have a job? Do you need to go to training? You know, you have to do that with all of the partners. The gun registry will be put back in place to follow up with people arrested for gun crimes and prevent them from repeating their mistakes. We will intervene. We will continue to invest in a focused deterrence model by collecting and analyzing intelligence to determine where to utilize these resources, intense strategies to maximize results. We also need to help our young people. As a former teacher, it pains me to see them more involved than ever in violent crime. It's one of the reasons I support a community school concept, and I've talked about this over and over again, to get those resources for families and their young people right in the schools that can help stabilize our young people and give them the opportunities. We cannot just wash our hands and say this is a problem just for the parent or just for the kid. We need accountability, and we need to show these children that we care about them and their future, but that we expect accountability from them. Community trust, that's one of the items in the consent decree that the police department has still not resolved, is community trust between the community and the police department. It's been lost, and so it's important to have effective law enforcement. We need to rebuild trust. When I'm out moving around and I run into a police officer who's sitting in the car, sometimes they recognize me, sometimes they don't. And I asked them, I said, why don't you just get out? Walk up and down this neighborhood. Walk up and down the businesses. Get to know who the businesses are. Yesterday, we had a situation at the church that I was at, and there was about maybe 7 or 8 police cars chasing this individual in a gray Honda. Not sure what the particulars were. I don't know if it was car theft or what. But my thought was, okay, do these police officers know this community? Because I'm not a police officer, But, and of course, I watch Chicago Police and other shows, but couldn't they have cut them off on Aruna and cut them off over here? I don't know if they caught them or not, but there was a lot of police going after this gray car. And those were thoughts that were going through my head. But I go back to that. Get out of the car, walk in the neighborhood, because police officers are human beings. And, you know, I think about it all the time. I mean, they want to go home to their families safe, but we need them to be engaged and involved and walk the streets. One of the strategies that we had successful with was a faith-based community strategy. A partnership. I'm going to reinstate the Community Partnership Division and ensure a proactive Internal Affairs Division will also help to restore trust. We will ensure data-driven decisions making by reinstating CityStat and bringing CompStat back to its former success. We will work with stakeholders to reinstate the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, and I know that the administration will say that it exists, but it doesn't exist in the framework that is the most effective. The judges are not a part of the Criminal Coordinating Council. It's out of the mayor's office. You want to put it in a neutral place and you have all the entities at the table. I saw the success of the Criminal Coordinating Council and how it benefited in our crime fighting effort. You know, we've got to get away from working in silos and really focus on what needs to happen. None of the strategies and models outlined in this plan can be implemented without the brave men and women who risk their lives every day to keep us safe. The Baltimore Police Department is currently operating with a staff deficit of approximately 500 to 700 officers. This leaves our community feeling even more vulnerable and less connected to our officers and drives up overtime. Our officers deserve accountability from the top, and we need to reframe how young people think about careers in public safety and think outside of the box when it comes to recruitment, exposing high school students to careers in law enforcement. As mayor, my team started recruiting in Puerto Rico, and a number of those officers are here today. Matter of fact, I haven't gotten it factual yet, but the officer that just the first Hispanic major, I believe, was part of the recruitment that we did in Puerto Rico. So we got to get creative in that, you know? And again, I'll go back to recreating that high school of public safety, because there's a shortage in the police department, a shortage in the fire department, that's part of public safety, a shortage in EMS. And when young people are exposed to different careers, it changes their view. I never expected, and my nephew probably will get on me for saying that my nephew, who went to Shenandoah, he was playing basketball, his background was in criminal justice, that he wanted to be a police officer. But when he became a police officer, I saw the impact that he made in the community, because he grew up here in Baltimore. He had challenges with his parents, both of losing them to HIV and AIDS, but it didn't stop him. And we had a conversation recently, and I asked him, well, he was in Northern District. He had a bridge program for juveniles, for young people, that one of the commissioners eliminated. I believe that that program still exists, and they were out working with young people, you know, based on sports and academic, that we would not have some of the challenges that we face today. But one of the things that he shared with me that just stuck was he used to have the area of York Road between Woodburn, I think it is, and Cold Spring. And there's a strip of stores in that community. And he said that he was a sergeant and his officers, and he said, we will get out of the car, we will walk the beat, and I would tell my officers, let's get engaged with the individuals in this community. I said, not forcefully, but let's talk about it and let them know. You're not going to be shooting crap over here today. You're not, on my watch, you're not going to be doing this, you're not going to be doing that. You know, and they respected him and his team that were out there because he knew how to talk to them. You know, he just talked to them like human beings. He wasn't forceful. He wasn't demanding, but they knew that he was serious about making sure that his area stayed safe for the residents and the business in that community. So Baltimore, my message is we have to raise our expectations. We don't need excuses. We need accountability. And that's what I'm demonstrating over a decade serving the city of Baltimore. And that's why you can expect that from me in the future. Because people ask, what are you going to do differently? There's a lot of things I'm going to do differently. But for me, it's about accountability. It's about leadership. It's not making excuses. It's about juggling multiple things at one time. And it's about holding all of us accountable. This plan is not something that I've been able to implement on my own. It's not something I can do on my own. It's going to require everyone, including our residents, to make a commitment to say that they've had enough, that they're going to be involved, but we're going to reduce crime in this city. And when we do it this time, and I'm convinced, and I see it, I see the vision. You know, I don't know if any of y'all have any visions, but when we do it this time, we're not going to then go back after 4 years for then to go back up again. It's going to be consistent, and it's going to keep going down, lower and lower. And you know why? Because I'm going to emphasize to everyone that's involved in my administration and those who want to be a part in the next generation that when something is working, you build on it. You don't throw it away. Sure, you might tweak it. Sure, you might make some changes, but you don't throw it away because it wasn't your idea. So we got a lot of challenges facing us. But I know that we can do it if we do it together. So at this point, I'll take some questions.
How you doing, Madam Mayor?
I'm good.
I was speaking with former Commissioner Rick Height, former Lieutenant Colonel, and he spoke about a time when you and him worked together to deal with the gangs. Would you bring back that same effort where you pull gang people to the side and let them know either you're going to follow the rules or you're going to jail?
I think the prime example is what I said in the story about my nephew, who was a sergeant over in the Northern District, and the fact that he was on the street, and probably some of those individuals are part of a gang, that certain things are not going to be accepted.
We did see a drop in homicides over the last calendar year. I'm curious what you attribute that to.
So I commend all of the entities and parties. I commend the mayor, I commend the state's attorney, I commend the federal prosecutor. I think all of those pieces were contributing factors. Last year when Ivan Bates won, what did he say? He said, you want to commit a crime, bring your toothbrush. Believe me, those messages get out to folks. You know, you forgot he was a defense attorney. He dealt with a lot of individuals in those communities he was at that time defending. I believe that those from the federal level on down contributed to that process. I also want to give kudos to Deputy Mayor Boxdale, and I'm glad the mayor took my suggestion to bring him on board, because Boxdale was a part of the Bill Fell administration where we were making, you know, major changes, and I want to commend him as well.
I'm Jessica Babb with Fox 45. What do you plan to do with Safe Streets day one if elected?
So that's, everybody asks that question, what are you going to do day one? So for day one with Safe Streets, because I created Safe Streets, and it wasn't as large as it is now. We didn't have the kind of budget we have now. But we really have to reassess Safe Streets. We need to look at the benefits and the disadvantages in Safe Streets and what we need to do differently. And whether or not Safe Streets, it's just like over in West Baltimore, there's a group under the Upton community, Wanda Best, she has, it's called the Peace Team. And it's similar to Safe Streets. Well, we need to really look at it. Do we need Safe Streets, or do we look at the Peace Team? But it definitely needs to be evaluated. With the recent incidents that just happened at 2 of the sites, you know, we've got to really focus on those individuals that are hired, the accountability, and the public needs to kind of know more about what's going on. When they're out there, what are they doing? Not necessarily the details of it, not who they are, but we have to do a better job of administering. So I'm going to assess it. I mean, by then, hopefully that audit will be done to really be able to determine what needs to happen.
Speaking of the Western District, you mentioned, or is Brandon Scott's GVRS the right way to attack crime, or do you plan to do something different?
So, I mean, there are a lot of variables about that plan. And one thing that I don't believe in doing is playing with numbers. And I know that there's other efforts going on in West Baltimore as well. And so again, it's about collaborating, it's taking the good and building on that, and if that's part of it, it's looking at what the Upton community is doing through their peace team and a former commissioner who's part of their group working on crime.
Are you going to push police to make arrests in lower level crime so Ivan Bates' citation docket works?
So with that, with the docket and with the citations, that's not about arrests. That's about making individuals accountable and looking at some of the quality of life issues. And our police department needs to step up with that process. Because sometimes, and when I walked in here, one of the thoughts that I had was somebody's committed a crime, loitering, or whatever's going on, and it's impacting the business. Well, we'll get them out here and help start cleaning up the streets.
So will you make sure police enforce those?
Oh, definitely. I think that's going to be a great tool where you're not arresting for quality of life crimes, but you're making folks, you're engaging them, and that's accountability.
Ms. Dixon, so you will be continuing the GVRS?
I didn't say
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not mayor yet. Secondly, I always believe in assessing something, and if it's effective and it's working, then again, what did I just say earlier? It's about building on it.
Will you also be continuing with Monzi, or do you have any plans for that department?
So, again, need to look at Monzi, look at where the funding is, where the grants are coming from, and what changes needs to take place.
You mentioned accountability quite a bit. What specifically do you plan to do to make sure people are held accountable?
Well, yeah, I mean, day one, folks need to, day one, people need to come to work. People need to city government needs to be open 5 days a week. Our police department, when they're out in those communities, they need to be engaged and involved in those communities. We have to make sure that at the sergeant level, the lieutenant level, et cetera, it's like the overtime. Who's monitoring that? I understand we have a shortage, but is anybody abusing it? Or is that amount of money for overtime necessary? What are we going to do? How are we're going to come up with a strategy to recruit so that we can balance our officers? You know, I want to bring back some retired officers who maybe can assist in training. You know, one of the areas that I asked Baltimore County why they're able to resolve crimes quicker than Baltimore City. And part of it is that their detectives stay in that area longer, so they have the experience. And so, you know, assessing all that is going to be important.
Some of the things that you've suggested bringing back sort of seem like they might be happening now, but under a different name.
Okay.
Like Community Partnership Division, for example. I mean, we've got an entire mayoral department in Monzi that's sort of, building some of those community partnerships. So what would be different under the plan that you're proposing?
So, community partnership under Monsi. So my question is, I go around to different communities, and people don't know who those community folks are and who are engaged. They might meet with the sergeant in that district, and you could ask some of the community people here, but they don't see the presence of folks engaged and involved.
All right, you've been listening to mayoral candidate Sheila Dixon. She is outlining her crime plan. We'll have much more of this on foxbaltimore.com as well as Fox 45 News at 4. That's all we have for Fox 45 News at midday. Be More Lifestyles up next.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
And, give me the prompter. Give me the prompter. What's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here, along with Jess from Mix 106.5.
Hi.
Oh, man, this has been a long time. Jess, good seeing you.
I know. I'm so happy to see you guys.
You look great. Let me tell you right now, there's a new dating trend known as contra-dating. Have you heard of this? It's when you date someone contrary to who you normally date, i.e. someone who isn't your type. The theory is if you keep dating the same type of person, but it isn't working out, maybe you're attracted to the wrong type of person. Now, remember, ladies, you're both, Jess, she's engaged. You attract, you attract what you are.
Oh,
okay.
Really?
So there you go, ladies. If you're getting creeps,
then you're a creep.
Look at yourself.
If you attract thoughts, you're a thought.
Something about you is attracting that person to you, good or bad.
Really?
So
That's good to know, because I'm out here in these streets. That's good to know.
She's out here in the streets. Jess, you got picked up. What's the secret?
I actually think this is a really good idea. It's kind of like Love is Blind, right? Because you usually have these certain kind of types that, if he's not this tall, if he doesn't have this job, blah, 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 blah. And I feel like I would definitely recommend trying this because you might meet someone that you wouldn't give a chance because they're not your type, right?
Well, by my wife, I'm a prime example. She had never tried the chunky touch before.
Oh, excuse me.
The chunky touch.
And she was like, let me get a little taste.
Yeah, she wasn't like, let me get a bald-headed 300-pound guy.
Let me get a sample.
All right, now.
But, it works. So, Lady T, what's your type, Lady T?
Oh, my type
And then you can tell us the opposite. So what's your type?
My type, obviously, is strong and wrong. But I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to change that. No, but I feel like this is like the Russell Wilson and Sierra effect because, she went from 50 Cent and all these hot guys to Russell Wilson, who's very handsome, but he's very put together. And he's like, a little bit on the nerdy side is what they say, but that's like the same effect. You try to date outside of your normal range.
And Lady T did not tell us who her type is. So we want you to tell us.
I said strong and wrong.
Have you ever dated someone who is not your type? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the lifestyle tab. You can also vote on our Fox 45 News app. At the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. And Lady T avoided it again. Now, if you don't like your job, you're not alone. And it turns out workers who are unhappy at work are costing the U.S. a lot of money. Unhappy workers cost companies $1.9 trillion in lost productivity last year. That's according to research. And a lot of workers are hoping to switch jobs. A survey found roughly 85% are thinking about changing jobs this year. None of us on this panel feel this way. Right, Jess?
Correct.
Hello? Hello?
Absolutely. I love my job. Thank you very much. Happy to be employed here. But I do believe this because it's like if you don't want to work, you're getting coffee like 7 times a day. So that's like 7 Keurig cups down the drain. You know what I'm saying? Like you're chilling.
Wow, 7. Lady T, you and I love our job.
Oh, we love it.
But I'm going to tell you a secret. I really have only worked the jobs that I do love.
Really?
Yeah, I learned from my mother.
Lucky to do that.
No, because I leave. If I don't like the job, I leave.
He said because I leave.
No, I saw my mom work somewhere that ruined her.
Oh, wow.
So I decided I'm not going to do that. So
and you know what? That's the same thing I think we see in our parents. They stress, they live, and they stressed out a lot, and you don't want to do that yourself. This is why I'm going to become a cuddle therapist, y'all, on the side.
Oh, yeah. I got permission to be one, too.
Yeah, so
don't call me Lady T. We cuddle together.
No, we're not cuddling.
Okay, I'm married.
But I'm about to make some money over
Okay, you've heard of those small towns in Italy that offer to pay people to visit? Well, Hawaii wants to do the opposite. The governor is calling for visitors to be charged a $25 climate fee if they stay at an island hotel or short-term rental. The idea is the money would help offset the state's reliance on fossil fuels. So, you're going to get charged.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you like this? You like this country?
Not Hawaii pulling an Uber Eats on us. They just.
I know. Wait, what's this charge here?
Extra delivery fee.
That's 25.
Stay away from us. Actually,
that's the air charge.
I'm still come to. Hawaii.
I'm mad about it.
Jess, you're high paid enough to go fly back and forth to Hawaii and pay the fees.
Is that where your honeymoon's going to be?
This? Oh, yeah. Where's honeymoon?
I wish. Honestly, we're still deciding. I wish it could be in Hawaii. But honestly, I'm not mad about it because with everything that they've been through and everything that happened in Maui, I feel like if we're going to go there and use their resources, I'm not mad about $25. Like, it's
because Jess got money. That's different.
She's fine.
So when
she can
whatever.
Put it on the tab.
Got it. She's just like, put it on the tab.
We were on our honeymoon, we were so broke. We didn't go to Hawaii. We just went to Hawaii. are you?
Oh!
And stayed at home.
far
How
was
are you?
that?
That's
oh,
what we
you were
said.
just, you were on the corner at
Lady
your
T,
house.
now you get flued out. That's the first flued out joke this year.
Do I get, look at you.
You get flued out. Now, you mad about this?
2024.
You just have your man pay for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I'm a sugar daddy. And I'm a sugar baby in waiting. But yeah, $25, that fee is a little, I don't know why I don't want to pay it.
It's not bad.
But the flight to Hawaii is like $1,600 in 16 hours. Also, I can't do math. That's girl math.
Well,
and,
it's a long time. It's a lot.
Well, just go back to your high-paying job. We'll see you soon. Lady T.
Love you, girl.
That is not true.
More of Lady T is coming up still ahead. Big news for wrestling fans coming up. Lady T shares when the WWE is moving things to a streaming platform. But first, you'll never want to leave home without it. Coming up, the handy new car tool that helps you on a roadside emergency.
Just kidding.
All right, no, it's not. Stick around.
Stay tuned.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
And with all the winter weather making headlines, it's important to be prepared for an emergency. Nick Calderon is here with a 10-in-1 tool that can help you on the road or at home.
The following segment is sponsored by Naki.
Not today, man. Dead car batteries. Every single time you're trying to get out of the house on time, be someplace, it happens. That click, click, click. Or you're on the side of the road on a gray, cold, dark day like today. It's never fun, but I have the answer for you. It's called the Jump Smart, and it can get you back on the road quickly. Watch this. Plug the two alligator clips in right here. Red clamp to red on the battery. Black to black, I get a beep and a green light, and now I can start my car back up. Just like that. I don't have to wait for roadside assistance or anybody else to come and help me out. I keep a Jump Smart in every family member's car. My daughters have one, my wife has one, and I know I have peace of mind, and so do they. It's also a 10-in-1 tool. It's got a compass, a thermometer, it's a flashlight and a strobe light, many other tools as well. And my favorite part, you can charge your cell phone with the two included USB ports on the back. If you lose power in a storm or something, just plug your phone in and you can stay connected with family and friends. Speaking of them, put one in every family member's car. 31% off right now at asadeals.com.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by St. Michael St. Clement School.
We're here in Overlea at St. Michael St. Clement School with some students to discuss how they're preparing for their future. We're joined by Mariah, Sophia, Caleb's in the house. I'm with Damari. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
We're joined by Kamaya. I'm here with Marco. So Marco, what was your experience when you started here?
I used to be, a public school kid. It was really hard for me because, bullying and stuff like that was, tough. And teachers didn't really care about, the students.
So when we came here, I was very nervous.
But in this private school, it really changed a lot for me because the teachers care a lot for the students.
All the teachers and students were very welcoming and friendly.
You know, they help their students whenever they can.
It really helped having friends here.
And it's been a really great experience for me.
We have really good teachers, really good technology. Everyone's really nice.
Sophia, you're an amazing student. What's your favorite subject?
My favorite subject would have to be science because there's always something new to learn and there's so many things you can still discover. And who's to say we can't be the things that discover it? Our generation is the future.
My favorite subject is English language arts. The teacher, Miss Ritmiller, you know, one of my favorite teachers ever. She's really taught me a lot. Ever since then, I've been knowing all of the other stuff, you know, I'll need. And when I get to high school, when I grow up as a man.
So talk to us about your extracurricular activities.
So I'm in safeties and art club.
I'm in Children of Mary, student council, and drama club.
I'm involved in Children of Mary, which is a religion-based program where you do volunteer work.
So why do you like the extracurricular activities so much?
Because it gives you a chance to experience different things and help other people out.
What's your favorite events here at the school?
Ooh, I would have to either say the Christmas Bazaar or the Trunk or Treat.
The Christmas Bazaar is one of my favorite events.
You can always hang out with your friends and you can really just see how the school is when you're not learning in classes.
Okay, a lot of good activities. So if you had a friend who was considering coming to the school, what would you tell them about this school?
I would tell them to come to the school because the teachers are very welcoming. They have a drive, like they thrive to make sure their students achieve their goals and all their affirmations.
What I would tell them is that this school is a very lovely school. It's very welcoming.
It's always like so kind and loving here, and they're able to like get help if they need it, like from teachers if they need help merging.
I would definitely recommend this school because everybody here is like a little family. Everyone's so nice with each other. They let you be who you are and they accept you for everything you want to do in life.
I know we have upcoming events. I know you have an upcoming open house.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes, our open house will be held January 27th.
January 27th.
From 11 to 1.
From 11 to 1.
If you need further information, you can check on the school website.
Visit stmspc.org.
Still ahead, a massive child support check. Lady T shares just how much Nia Long is going to receive from her ex. And a big snub for the biggest movie of the summer, how Hollywood is supporting Barbie's leading ladies after their Oscar snub. It's time to spill the tea this Thursday. Lady T's in the house.
Hello, fellow tea sippers. All right, this tea is piping hot. All right, let's talk Oscar snubs. All right, so actor Ryan Gosling is speaking out about the Oscar nomination snub involving Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig for the movie Barbie. Now, the Oscar nominations were announced earlier this week. The movie received 8 Oscar nominations, y'all, but fans still not happy. No nominations for Best Director or Best Actress at Barbie. Now, in his statement, he said that he was incredibly disappointed that they weren't nominated. However, he is happy for America Ferrera Supporting Actress nomination. Also chiming in, Hillary Clinton and Billie Jean King, they entered the chat as well. They agreed with Gosling, saying Greta and Margot were enough, okay? And shout out to Gosling for having their back in this whole situation. I know, Mark, I know you, everybody else was saying what you said about Fantasia being snubbed as well, okay? But I really am shocked that they didn't get anything for Best Director and Margot didn't get anything for Best Actress. I don't know why.
I love the fact that you said Billie Jean King and Hillary entered the chat.
They entered the chat because they said something else.
I felt like I could just see their suits. Like
that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, okay, pantsuit.
Pantsuits were banging.
Pantsuits is on fleek, okay?
I thought feel like...
While they typing in their pantsuits. Stop it, okay? Up next, you guys, actress Nia Long. Okay, her money is long, y'all. Okay, she's still trending. She's going through a very public divorce, but it seems the couple has reached a custody settlement. Now, Nia is going to get $32,000 a month in child support from her ex, Ime Udoka. Now, they have a son. His name is Kez, right? He's 12 years old. People magazine got the court documents, and they agreed to reasonable visitation since he travels with the NBA team, Houston Rockets and stuff. He'll be on the road a lot with them. The nanny will transport him back and forth between the parents. Now, she filed for divorce 8 months after they ended their relationship back in December of 2022. Do y'all remember that? When his affair with a female Celtics team member was revealed, which also led to his suspension from the team. He and Nia Long were married for 13 years.
What?
That's a bad luck number. Now, I did the math, and the child support check looks like the price of a townhome, Mark, okay? It looks like...
I didn't realize she was married that long.
Yeah, they were together for quite some time.
Well,
so
watch the nanny.
It was a big blow. Listen, don't play with her, okay?
I'd have the most unattractive nanny.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't a nanny situation like that. Okay, up next, you guys, because the tea keeps pouring. All right, so the world of wrestling just got more interesting. WWE Raw will be streamed live on Netflix starting in 2025. Why does that sound like it's, so far away? They are locked into a $5 billion streaming deal with Netflix for 10 years with an option that extended for an additional 10 years if they want, but they can opt out after 5 years though, okay? Streaming is really taking over, y'all. Y'all see where things are going. Anyway, also congrats to WWE star Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE. She's on the front cover of WWE 2K 2024, along with Rhea Ripley. Plus she has a reality TV show coming. I'm gonna talk to her next week. I'm so excited. Anyway, also The Rock is solid now. Solid as a rock. TKO Group Holdings, Inc. added him to their board of directors, and he now has full ownership of his trademark name, The Rock. Congrats to him. And of course, you can catch WWE SmackDown on FOX45 every single Friday. Yay. Don't he look good? It's that face. Ooh.
We know what to do.
I got tingles just now. Oh.
I'm not going to say a piece of The Rock joke. I'm going to leave it alone.
Well, you know why? I feel like that's like the best thing. This is time for it, okay? But no, definitely. I think this is a big move. Things are really changing in the streaming world. So, lots happening there, Mark.
Lady T is an influencer. If you don't know, Lady T has 1.4 million followers. Congratulations, Lady T.
Yeah, you have to speak it into existence because that's not the case. But yeah, thank you so much. That's it for the tea for today. Now, y'all know what to do at home, okay? Y'all got to go sit on all that tea. Go Ravens.
All right, now for your best weather in America with meteorologist Justin Chambers, plus a sneak peek at Sunday's game day forecast. Oh, Justin.
Well, with the rain and the warm temperatures melting all of our snow away, this is what it looks like for our friends up in Maine. And you can see ice, ice baby right there. That's how we basically ended last week. And that snow that was hanging around, well, a lot of it's going to be gone due to those temperatures that are definitely well above average and that rain that's going to kind of clean things out as well. So we'll keep the scattered showers around for your Thursday afternoon. Temperatures well above average. Definitely tracking more rain on Sunday, and that is going to be for the Ravens game, which we'll talk about here more in a second. On your hour-by-hour forecast, forecast. Temperatures staying in the mid-50s in that 2, 3, and 4 o'clock hours. So riding about 10 to 12 degrees above average for your highs. And mainly in the mid-50s is what we're going to see for your highs this afternoon. You see those temps across Carroll and Baltimore counties. There's the average highs. So most of us will be well into the 50s, even with the rain showers and the cloud cover that stays with us. Same for you in Ellicott City down through Columbia, Anne Arundel County, and Howard County, also in those 50s, with some on the eastern shore could actually hit the lower 60s and should hit 60 in D.C. today, with mid to upper 60s down to Richmond and Roanoke for this afternoon. Our temperature tracker, well, we're going up tomorrow, and those numbers come back down Saturday, but still well above average. And notice those cooler temperatures on the way early next week. So here's our future scan, tracking those showers through Thursday afternoon. Heaviest rain comes Thursday night. Friday morning, some leftover rain, but by Friday afternoon, this cold front's going to come through, and that will help to kind of sweep a lot of that moisture out of here, dry us out a bit, maybe give us some pockets of sunshine. Saturday's dry for the first half of the day, but Saturday night into Sunday morning, that's when we'll see more of that rain that's going to roll in. And that means on our AFC Championship cast, 3 o'clock on Sunday, temps will be in the upper 40s. Have to deal with some rain showers, definitely for tailgating. And potentially, as we get in the middle of the game, we may get a break in the rain, but more of that rain expected after halftime and as you leave the stadium, and temperatures that will come down too. So we'll definitely be colder. Here's a look at that 10-day forecast. 50s and 60s through Saturday, upper 40s on Sunday, cooler next week. But as you look ahead toward next Thursday, that's February 1st, and we're going to start that month in the lower 50s.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Infinite Legacy.
You probably have been given the option to become an organ, eye, or tissue donor, but may not have seen the impact it has on the lives of recipients. Joining us now is tissue recipient Simone Henderson with her donation journey. Simone, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with you guys today.
Well, Simone, tell us about yourself and your personal connection to tissue donation.
My older sister was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was very, very aggressive, and unfortunately, she succumbed to it in 2018. I kind of procrastinated with getting checked out, but eventually I did, and they ran a BRCA2 test on me and found out that I was BRCA2 positive, and it put me at a 71% chance of breast cancer and a 41% chance of ovarian cancer, and those odds are very scary. So I did the prophylactic surgeries and had a double mastectomy. And in that process, my doctor, to help me recover quickly, because I am self-employed and a single mom, she used donor tissue to help me reduce my surgeries down to 1. And it increased my quality of life. I was able to get back to work and taking care of the people that I love.
That's amazing. So you kind of spoke on it, but how has it changed your life since receiving your tissue implant?
Oh my gosh. First off, I'm a donor myself, and I didn't even know that one person can help so many people. You can save 8 lives, and you can help up to 75 others enhance their lives on a day-to-day. But me personally, they reduced my surgeries down to 1 as opposed to 3, which helped me get back to work sooner to take care of my family and my customers and people I care about.
So, Simone, what's something you say to somebody who's considering registering themselves as an organ or tissue donor?
I tell them absolutely to do that. Again, there are nearly 4,000 people in Baltimore right now, that Maryland and Baltimore, that are on the list for organ transplants, as well as 100,000 in the whole entire country. So one person can help a multitude of many, and your gift goes way further than you would ever believe.
And what is Infinite Legacy doing at the Be More Healthy Expo?
They are signing up people and helping register and give facts about being a donor. And I just strongly encourage everybody to register and sign up.
You're doing a great job, Simone. Where can people go for more information?
You can register at your local MVA or DMV and at infinitelegacy.org.
Great job, Simone. Looking forward to seeing you. Continue the great work, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Take care. Still ahead, there's a new dating trend, and it's promising to help you find love. Coming up, why the theory says your past relationships have failed and how you can make your next one a successful one. There's a new dating trend known as contra dating. It's when you date someone who isn't your type. The theory is if you keep dating the same type of person, but it isn't working out, maybe you're attracted to a wrong type of person. We wanted you to tell it. Have you ever dated someone who's not your type? 79% of you say yes. Great show lined up for tomorrow. The big game is almost here. The Ravens take on the Chiefs this Sunday as they eye the Super Bowl. We'll chat about our predictions for the game and ask you to show off your Ravens pride. And as always, thank you for inviting us into your home. Make sure you follow Be More Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all our social media platforms, and we'll see you tomorrow.